into mid without having to go for picks, and Legia's going to get the first one on flip side, gets a second.
They have to jump out the window. They don't have a clean way out this one. Marklov's able to get the first pick over on Chris J. They've actually got themselves trapped up, trying to breach the beat.
Man, that is the second time tonight we've seen you look away at the wrong time, and World Edit gets the shot. Simple's also in on one, so those double ops, and there's your mid presence. Nico's going to even it all back up, though, as he comes up from down below. What a triple kill from him. Simple to drop. Make it 4. Bondic now. Bother to budge back down the ramp. We do get a trade kill, though.
As breaching, Chris J, he's able to get out, taking out the Flash Blade, but he's in a world of hurt. Able to take out a second one as well, but where is the ending? What is running around with the knife? I think he's looking for the extra gold. But he's not going to get it. They're in close. There's no more time to really get the defuse. So it's just pickoffs. Markelov, he is over in the connector, but he's still practically out of time. Markelov's forcing him to run over, and he'll finally finish the job.
Yeah, if they hadn't got that pick, they were in a world of hurt, but that actually might help them. Simple, though, not going to help them at all as he gets Legia, and there's Blade, so flip side continuing on.
The T's are here. They're throwing flashes. Bondic, he's right in front of 2 CT players. He gets one on the stairs. Doesn't pick up the second, however. There's still a 2-on-2. The shot from Simple can't get the connection. Still trying to get over the hill. Markelov, they get it! We're going to overtime.
Yeah, but he gets caught off. Markelov's inside sandwich. Gobby's going to respond. Got 2 of his own. And this could happen. They do have it on. He's going to have time. It's going to have to be brilliant right now. And no, it's going to go the way of Mouse Sports. They're going to get it.
But they're playing up against time and space. And Simple picks up 1 and, well, that through the smoke. Ball.
Inside the apartments, but that catch from Nico, great awareness.
He takes 1, he takes 2, looking for the extra one. He tried to change the gun, looking for the third one. Has to switch over towards the Tech 9, and he'll take out the third. It's on a 1-1 situation.
He's going to get smoked off at the doorway, but it's Simple who's going to find Gobby coming around the corner at mid and instantly.
Wonderful.
And into Blade, starting off very well for him on this pistol round. And Legia, not even taking out the vent, takes down Bondic, so it's all turned around. And this will be an easy kill as Gobby's already done the damage to Markelov.
It really felt like the CTs had this. As well, I think he turned his back a little bit too early, but no, they swing around. Look at the guy on the left. He comes in from the side. Gob, it's going to be an ult for him if he's at least going to pick it up. And then a short range, he's able to pick up as well, Bondic. So another 2 CTs to deal with. He switches over towards the M4, finding another one just up in a little bit of a, in there. So he's deep on the site, but it's not going to stop the Mouse Sports push. They're in really, really close. Nico able to get 2 through that door connector. But they're battling up against 1 behind the truck, and the CTs are nicely split for the moment.
Watch World Edit, though, in our second picture. He's right behind them, and there's the Mag 7 up close. Easy kill for him. He gets 2 in the end.
And in fact, they're all dropping down. And with that P90, to me.
You always do that.
We're off to a fantastic start. He's taking already. I was never 10 minutes right now.
I love it.
We get to flash again. So we're restarting. Welcome everybody to the CSGO Championship Series. I'm Toby1, joined by Sadicus. In fact, it's Sadicus joined by me, Toby1. Because really, he does come first.
Yeah, either. I don't know. I guess I've been here longer in CSGO, if you want to get technical, but you've probably been around casting. We're joining each other. It's mutual.
Yes. It's a partnership of productional beauty.
It's a bromance.
It's, we have no code yet.
We'll get one. We've got lots of time for that.
We can copy Barney's. That's perfectly all right.
Lots of time.
Beautiful.
You want to lead them into what we're going to watch tonight first?
I can do that. I can do that. So tonight we're kicking off with the team from the Danish Superstars, Team Dignitas, going up against Sweden, which is AliGon. That'll be the 2 teams which we're kicking off. It's our first semi-final. We have 2 semi-finals tonight, however, but let's focus on the first one.
Yeah, so Dignitas, this is sort of what I used to call Dignitas' B team. Fetish obviously used to play with him. He's not playing tonight. We aren't going to see him. But Fetish used to play with Dignitas. He was removed when... Oh, actually, well, first, let's just... While this is on the screen, I'll go over the maps, and then we'll come back. So Dignitas actually banned out Overpassed first. AliGon came right back, took out Nuke. Dignitas then jumped toward Dust2. That was immediately countered by Cash.
Yeah, and that leaves our last bands, which will be Cobblestone and Mirage. And now last and a random map will be Inferno. And now that is where we'll go if we go to 3 maps. So we get to start with the classic Dust2. No overpass this time around, though. I'm not surprised, though. Like, we've only had 1 overpass game so far in the series, and it hasn't been an enjoyable...
Overpass and Cobble still aren't played that much, unless they're forced into a map pool. Obviously, the best of 5. It was our 5th map last night. We did see it in the game where I'm not Property. Why can't I think? Gamers 2. There we go. Gamers 2 played last night because they do play at an ESEA, so they might have thought they had the upper hand on it. Turns out they were right. They took that map off of Hellraisers as a result. But our teams, let's focus on this. So AliGon, we actually don't know that much about. They're a roster that's back last year. They actually took NIP into overtime on Dust2. 17-19 NIP actually ended up taking that, but that was a long time ago. That was in a previous iteration of the roster.
Yeah.
They haven't really done a whole lot since. Obviously, Delpan and Huggen have just joined into this roster. Delpan just came back off after his stint with NIP trying out. Good player to watch out for, but I still don't know how they're going to work as a team. They've got a lot of growth.
I was digging through their recent results as well, and we only could find one win, and it wasn't even a full win. It was a win inside of a best-of-3 up against Hellraisers. So I'm interested to see how they will perform this evening. Obviously, if you're betting your res, it's going to be over on Dignitas.
And here's a look at the whole team. So Delpen, as I mentioned, is your AWP player. Huggen's actually going to be taking over the in-game leadership, and then it's Xylos, Cobra, and Kaboom that are going to be supporting them in doing so. And like I said, we just haven't seen a whole lot from them. Back in the day when they were just starting out and at the start of sort of 2014, they looked like they had some promise. We'll see what they can do with these new additions. I mean, it's definitely a team to keep an eye on with Delpan on there. Obviously, he's kind of streaky at times. There's lots of people that think he's, overrated, and there's lots that say he hasn't been given the shot that he deserves. Obviously, he was just given that shot with NIP, and obviously they went towards Alu instead of him, but I'm going to be interested to see how this roster grows. It's another new team to watch out for. And then, of course, Dignitas. And as I was saying, this was kind of the B team for Dignitas for a little bit of time until their main roster jumped ship and headed over to TSM. Fetish, who's actually not going to be playing tonight, was the in-game leader. He's typically orchestrated, and this is actually part of the reason he left Team Solo Mid, was he's very CT-oriented on his strat calling. Yeah. Tonight, they don't have him. Isenbo's in for him. They've got Pimp, Nico on the AWP, Kierbu, and AZ. And I actually just spoke to AZ. He said he just woke up from a nap. He's ready to pwn some noobs. But he also said they aren't dedicating anyone to strat calling in Fetish's place. They're actually just going to play it as a default. They know each other well enough, and they're just going to kind of pug off each other.
We're actually talking about that when you got a new player in, you're not going to have the same trust as you would have with a lot of other players, especially one you've been playing with for a very, very long time. So is this going to make a hole in the Dignitas lineup if there's not someone saying you should be doing this? Or is there enough talent from Isenbo that he'll just fit in perfectly?
Well, that's the thing, and I don't know a lot about Isenbo either. In fact, there was not a whole lot of information available for him. He has had some time in the Danish scene on various teams. He played against DSC a few different times on different rosters and had some success, but I don't know how he incorporates himself here. The good news is they're on Dust2 first. If there's any map that you can go ahead and pug, if there's any map that you can get away with that everyone's played enough to know their job, I would definitely say that that's it. The other one is that we are going to see Inferno third. That's another map where that also can be achieved. So those two maps, they've got a reasonable chance just on that alone. Cash, a little bit more execution-based. Smokes have to be good. Flashes have to be good, more so over at the A site. We'll see how it goes. I mean, they've got skill. They've got lots of skill. Pimp's a great player. Kierbu's had some good results for them. Obviously, they didn't qualify at ESL, but they put up some good numbers. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They didn't put up good numbers all the time. Kaboom destroyed them on Inferno, 16-3. But then they actually responded and took Vox to 14 rounds on the same map. So
yeah, but the Australians won, didn't they?
Oh, well, I guess if you want to be patriotic.
It wasn't patriotic. It was actually just a fantastic game.
It was. And I'm actually, to be honest, game. I'm really excited to see both Vox and now Keat All-Stars, former Kaboom, be at a world-class tournament like this, because it's going to, even if they don't do that well, it's going to help grow the sport of Counter-Strike back home in their native lands. And it also gives us 4 continents represented. It's truly becoming a global offensive.
Smooth. All right, as we'll be able to see as well through esports bets as well as through CSGO Lounge, the advantage is definitely going the way of Dignitas as far as the numbers go. One advantage you guys can also have if you want to win some free stuff tonight is an AWP skin up for grabs this evening.
That's right, Asimov too.
Yeah. I asked for it just to be given to me from the very start.
No one's giving you anything.
I know. All I want to do is just pimp my shooter. Can I not do that?
Do we have a spawn glitch going on right
now? It looks like spawn glitch. It's because they're spawning
the bots haven't dropped.
They're spawning out too many bots as well. Yeah, but if you want to get involved in all of this, and you also want to support the tournament, we're actually supporting the tournament through Twitch. So you guys at home can help raise the prize pool. The first big crowdfunding coming the way of CSGO, and they're doing it through the Twitch subscriber system. So part of your subscription goes towards raising the prize pool. The information, you'll find someone will link it. We had news articles up around the place. It was over on hltv.org. It was over on Dota2 Reddit. It was on the CSGO series website as well. All the information is there. All you got to do is sub yourself up. You get the extra perks as well through the wonderful emotions, which you can spam to your heart's content inside the chat. You also have no ads and all the other wonderful perks you normally get. So get yourself subbed up. You can also get into the free giveaways for skins.
Yeah, which, like we just said, the Asimov's
which is a huge amount of money. Like, you spend $5 and you can win a $200 knife. Or I don't
forget
know
what
how
the
much
Asimovs are rated at right now. The problem is they're a really saturated bet skin, so their value kind of fluctuates quite a bit. I actually haven't looked up what the Asimov price is right now. I'm not big on the skins thing, I have to be honest.
In Dota, I own a lot of skins.
My inventory in Dota is better than my CS inventory.
Well, that's because everything in Dota is so cheap.
I didn't buy any of it.
We're cheap.
A couple people gave me some Wind Ranger mythics. They're pretty awesome.
You know, actually, I was part of a Wind Ranger set, one created by Dignitas.
Oh, really?
I voiced the trailer for it, which never got released, but I wonder
why they never released it.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I remember when I was recording it, he said, "Sound like Asland." I was like, I reckon I could do that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. It was even better when you have the entire night before, my preparation for the big time was actually destroying my voice. I was singing till all hours of the morning. I had a couple of glasses of red wine the night before, and I come in, and I sound like Barry White when I do that. I come in like 4 octaves below normal.
Apparently, the Asimov is still worth about $150, so good value in that skin as well. Someone also said that the team display is the wrong way around. It's because we haven't restarted the server. The first person to join a team when they first join, that's how it sets it. So once we get the knife round underway, don't worry. All of that will get taken care of. And
we have wonderful admins that are always here to make sure everything goes flawless.
Exactly. And not only that, I mean, let's get to the point here. We got a knife round for sides. Dust2. Not that important. It's one of those maps that's become a lot more even. And, I mean, Dignitas, we talked about it with Fetish's rosters typically being CT-sided. Based on the results as of late, AZ said, I said, what map do you guys prefer to play? He said, we don't really care because we're kind of having the same struggles on all of them. It's inconsistency for them. If you look at the game against Kaboom, obviously they started T-side Inferno and only picked up those 3 rounds. But then you go to the game against Vox Seminor, and they actually only picked up 2 rounds or something along those lines, or 3 rounds CT side. So it's been all over the map for them. They haven't been able to string together success on either side. And I mean, typically when you've got one side that's great, you can focus on one thing. Right now it's basic fundamentals they need to go back to, and just team coordination. I wouldn't say individual skill, but just getting used to the players that they're all playing with. Obviously this roster's seen some changes over the last little while, and it takes some time to get familiar with each other.
It would feel better probably to go onto the CT side to start with, because then at least it's that you're not having to change up strats every single time. You might get some momentum, and you can just play your standard holds. Maybe push up long, maybe look towards the short. You can look for the early pickups, but then it's not having to require the full synergy of the 5 players. It's the 2, and then just getting the right time for the call for the rotation. Like, that would probably be a simpler way to start. But then again, at the same time, maybe you want to be feeling a little bit more confident. Get onto the T side, try and get those early rounds, roll with momentum as a squad, and just push in with a huge amount of confidence into the second half.
I mean, Dust is a great warm-up map for that. It won't matter that much. Like I said, they're not going to be upset if they lose. I mean, if it's nuke and you lose your knife round, you start T-side, you've got a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Inferno, obviously, for them has had that same issue at times, but Dust2, I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be overly concerned if you start out T. And, I mean, yes, sure, I would always want to have CT, but again, it's one of those maps that you're not going to beat yourself up over it.
All right, so we're still waiting for the players to be fully ready, as not everyone's in. We do have a couple of, actually, is it just the, I think we just have some extra bots running around. But when the players are ready, we can start this up. We do have multiple games coming in tonight. Actually, looks like the admin's finally kicking out a couple of the players. But if you are interested for what else is coming up tonight for CSGO, as far as here on the live stream, we do have our second semi-final, which is CW going up against Penta, and that'll begin directly after AG versus Dignitas.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that game as well. Obviously, Copenhagen Wolves just picked up Troubly and got rid of Freeze officially. They were using Sandrin as a stand-in. They're not actually going to be using him tonight. Yeah, we'll see how it goes for them. And obviously, I think that match, this match, I think AliGon's a wild card. I don't know, maybe they could pull off something magical if Delpan plays absolutely great and they come together as a team. Dignitas, like I said, inconsistency. You have to look at Dignitas based on the players on the team, the experience that they have. You have to look at them as if they still are, you know, your favorites in this. But AliGon is a dark horse right now to me entirely. And I mean, it's going to come down to what Dignitas shows up, what rounds they can string together on T, and what AliGon brings to the table on these maps. I mean, it's hard for me to judge. We'll see based on the first sort of map when they start playing how aggressive they want to play things, how much pick orientation or execution orientation they go with. But I mean, this is interesting. This is one of those ones where, as a bettor, obviously I don't bet it. I think I've laid one bet in my entire life. But as a bettor, I know lots of guys who talk about matches like this. It's a tough one. It's a tough call. I mean, the odds are very indicative, but this is what you'd basically judge as a value bet.
Primarily because, yeah, Dignitas is playing with an extra. We know that they're not really having a great time of late. And AliGon could just pull up something. This is still a best of 3, so it's not as though it's just like a one-map kind of value bet. That would be even bigger, in fact, in favor of AliGon, because they could just get a little bit of momentum and break the morale of Team Dignitas. But to achieve such a thing, AliGon's going to have to be playing aggressive in where they go. Get the early picks, make Team Dignitas doubt they're pushing, and then you can roll with the momentum. But you got to do that over 2 maps if you can go 2-0. But that'll be a pretty big ask. I think as far as tonight, if you're looking for predictions, we're probably looking at 2 going, like both of our matches tonight are probably going to be 2-0.
I could see this one going 3 just because of Cash being so execution-oriented. I mean, Dignitas should be able to take that, but I could see them dropping the ball on that map potentially.
Well, we did see Hellraisers drop the ball on it yesterday.
Yeah,
like
entirely.
all their smokes and nades were in the right position, but their positioning was wrong when they went in. It was like, okay, execution not 100%.
The one thing with Hellraisers, too, is they played 7 maps back-to-back yesterday.
They did.
Sure, they were exhausted, but that's also their fault for messing up their scheduling. That wasn't intended to be the case. They were supposed to play the first 3 of those maps the day before.
The organizers tried to make it easy on them. They made it hard for themselves.
Yeah, and that said, I mean, even though, sure, you're mentally exhausted, they did nothing on their terrorist rounds for the last 3 maps that we saw them play. And sure, that's an indication of exhaustion, but that was beyond exhaustion. That was just poor execution. And congrats to Flipside. They played well the entire way through the bracket. The only map they lost was actually that first one against Hellraisers. And now they sit and wait for the league to fully commence once we figure out who's going to get through from this bracket.
Do we have a second sub in here? Because either that or we just have someone on a different name.
We may. I see Flakybo in there, and it would be...
Yeah. Because Flakybo is not quite right, but you've already got Nico, AZ.
It's Pimp.
It's Pimp.
No, Pimp's there.
No, Pimp's up. So we've got like Kiabu, but he's also in there.
Oh, it's Isenbo.
So it's
that is Isenbo.
Okay. So their stand-in is in fact under a completely different name, but that is in fact Isenbo. Just to make things complicated for us.
They use that Danish lettering. I forget what it's called. I can't pronounce it. So if anyone can actually Danish spell that out for me in chat, that would be lovely.
I'm just going to call him Bo because it's at the end of his name. So that's easy for me. I apologize, but he's not wearing the correct name. So his fault. Knife round. So we'll see who gets the advantage to start with. And looks like the CTs are going to have the balance here at least. Yeah, they've only got 1 more to mop up. So AliGon will get to have the choice here as they mop up Nico. So more than likely they'll stay. And in fact, they in fact will. So Team Dignitas, we're going to put them to the test. The lineup without a leader, as well as the stand-in, it's going to go over towards the T's. So with no set plays, with nothing like that, Team Dignitas are the first ones to have to make a move. I'm wondering if this is almost just a time where you go 4-on-1, like a 4-1 split. Just try and breach, move as a team, and rely on your skills to get you ahead.
I mean, the one thing on Dust that's become more of a default is running that smokes to B, and B entry relies on more skill than less execution. It's about picks, so Dignitas might be able to pull that off in their favor where they don't have, their leader in Fetish.
I like this. So AliGon, they decide to push up 2 through short to try and take mid very early on, and because of that, they expose long. So AZ, he's already sitting out there near the pip. The smoke did come down, but they're rotating back again. So Dignitas trying to hold up in top mid while Pimp has managed to get himself all the way down into lower dark. But he's also getting flanked. There's so many players which are just past the lines, but it will be a short A commitment from the T's. And they are breaching now. It's a 1-1 trade-off over on the A side. And the CTs, they're having to come back up through short to contest the bomb site. But Huggen, he's so close. He wants to try and get up through the ramp, but he needs the rest of his teammates to make it through the A. But they're not going to. Nico controls one. Will still be dropped. And AliGon, where's the opening? Huggen with the jump. Gonna find, gets one quick tag. But he can't finish off the T, just sitting on the side. It's still a 3-on-3 situation. As the battle comes from long, the bomb is very much exposed, and the pitch shots. How can the shot go on? It's only one, but it's enough. They just play the range game, Dignitas. They hold the site, and the first round will go the way of the Ts.
I mean, yeah, they favored off for that B hold on AliGon's side. It didn't actually go that way. They absolutely took over A. Huggen was down inside the spawn. He's your strat caller. He called for the rotation, but they tried to come around. Nothing they could do. That bomb was down. They had the site secured. Cobra's going to go for this scout second round, try and get that early damage, but Nico's already got one up right now for Dignitas. And AZ's gone for this MAC-10. See if he runs in and sprays away with it.
He's going to be a little bit more defensive, man. With Cobra back on plat, he's going to see him the second he runs around the corner. And getting through there alive. Like, the MAC-10's not that brilliant for range, obviously. But it's the mid where Team Dignitas are looking to pressure. Like, you might have the one floater going in through the long doors with Pimp with the flash. Actually going to breach up. Delpan's the only one defending. He's behind the box. Nice secondary flash. Takes out one. Can't get the second, though. So there is still the breach coming. And with a Galil, he's able to push all the way up. So 2 players down. He'll also grab the AK. Fighting a little bit more of an upgrade. So only Kaboom left to defend the A site.
Yeah, and there's not even much rotations coming in. Xylos and Cobra are still sitting back at B as if there might be a presence there. Cobra actually was out toward middle. Would have been in a good spot to rotate early, but fell back into the back of the site. And they're sold because of this one smoke that went off on CT. It's so crazy how something in a default meta makes people doubt things so much. But nice. Kaboom's doing a great job holding on to the site. 2 down. Both 5-7 kills. Gets it into a 2-on-2. And with the scout, Cobra's got Nico at 43. That's a one-shot kill. It all comes down to Kierbu after that. And Nico's going to try and go long to catch them off guard. Kierbu is sitting up on the platform looking in that direction. Xylos is still down below. This could be interesting. As soon as he comes around the corner at long, he's going to get that AK. Not going to happen. Cobra not able to hit the shot he was looking for.
But there's nothing really much to save here. You do actually
and
have,
I think Xylos has lagged out because he's just sitting rather stationary inside the spawn.
Yeah, he's having some trouble. But protect yourself, players. Protect yourself, players. So we'll have ourselves a pause here the second round. Either way, then, Team Dignitas really did have the control. It was really like Kiebu pushing up through the long A. There was too much of a crossfire. AliGon haven't been able to hold that A side at all. They keep getting pushed up through short, and the long also keeps getting taken. Obviously, you're on eco. You're not expected to really try and hold that, but maybe committing 2 up towards the long, at least secure one of these positions as opposed to just letting one of them fall. As opposed to letting both of them fall.
Well, he's back in the server now on my screen.
Looks like it was just an internet crash. The amount of times you could scream for the DD.
Ping spiking for him, and typically, if it is that issue that we dare not speak of, you're normally going to see some jumping and rubber banding going on, because it takes, obviously, it's a process. Yeah. So it takes a bit of time, and I didn't see anything. He just went stationary inside spawn, so I actually don't think.
Just blame the ISP. That's the best way. And that happens a hell of a lot, too, depending on where you are.
Well, either way, he's back in, so we'll see if he gets underway. And his ping stabilized, so hopefully it's not ongoing for him.
Oh, well, when they're ready to go, we can roll out again. Again, though, we are looking at insanely low money from AliGon. So it looks like Team Dignitas, they shouldn't have too many troubles of taking this next round. I kind of like as well the fact that like Team Dignitas, they haven't been focusing much over on the B side. Obviously, when you're going up against pistols, there was one point where you thought Team Dignitas might breach in through the upper dark. But when you get yourself into such a narrow choke point, I don't want to say the flashback of Hellraiser, but I'm going to anyway. Hellraiser's on you yesterday. You win the T round, and then you think the greatest thing I can do is walk through 2 short choke points. And then the pistols are a hell of a lot more effective for the CTs. And in this case, Team Dignitas, they're keeping it split up. Like the first attack, it came through long A. They breached all the way up, but then thought, you know what, we still need to have another pick. They made a lot of noise up there. They then try and flank it back, and they're always getting the battles from range that seems to go their way as well. So they're playing AliGon perfectly, where AliGon are moving, they're shifting their defense, which then makes a hole which Team Dignitas push straight through.
I mean, it's hard. Yeah, and we haven't seen guns come out yet on the defensive side. I mean, that is a read that it has happened now twice, but until they get guns out, until we see where their defaults are going to be, we're not going to see where the true execution comes in. I mean, Dignitas has a fair shot getting 3-0 right now. I mean, ultimately, Xylos dropping out of the game right there. Yes, okay, it's unfortunate to see. It didn't really affect anything. He was in a 1-on-2. They knew exactly where he was. The bomb was already ticking for a while, so that doesn't affect our scoreline at this point. But like I say, once we see guns out, things will change. They've got 3 P250s, head armor on Cobra. Actually, that's quite interesting. And that actually puts him down below the money situation of the rest of his teammates. So in the next round, he's actually going to be struggling to buy unless they pull off an absolutely miraculous eco right now.
In lower dark, Xylos, he's up so far. AZ's right next to him. If he moves down towards the right, which he will do so right now, he'll take care of that aggressive CT, which means now short A is a lot more open. In fact, Pimp's already here, looking towards the mid-double doors, takes out one, heavily damaging a second. As the battle is still going up, Cobra trying to push down to lower dark, but with only 2 players left alive, and it was Delpan who was the second one to get away from the mid. He's only got a B-stick of life sitting at 4 of them. And Kaboom has to babysit him. The flash comes, but there's no breach, and there's no reason to. Dignitas move quickly over towards A, and they're going to get the plant down. So Eisenbo enjoy the 3 points. Delpan at least gets to push up through mid. But with the AK here, it's an easy hold on the top. Takes out one. And there is your second one going the way of Kiebo.
So now we'll see those guns. Delpan's going to go straight for that AWP. Now, when he was playing with Nip, he was rushing it long, playing it similar to how Michael Ailey had done it, and with Get Right to support him. I'm interested to see if he goes for that same approach or if he's going to go straight toward middle. Out of spawn, he's favoring off toward A side, so they're going to go for this 3A push.
Nico got a tag. Cobra's already down to 35.
And AZ setting up with bomb toward B. There's no one at mid right now. Hugin's going to be the first one to fall back off that A. So early A push and the fallback. That's more and more common with these teams. In fact, Envious, one of the only teams that doesn't run that by default. But there's Kierbu coming through middle. This
is real problems
Hugin
for
down.
me.
Oh, Cobra's also taken a lot of damage on the backside. There he goes.
And that means there's only one defender left inside there. It's up to Xylos, and he's just dropped by Nico for the fact they cut off the CT spawn. Delpan, Kaboom, they have to flank all the way around. Delpan's actually making the run all the way up along A, and more than likely just wanting to save the AWP. And Dignitas have got to be aware of this. They have to start going on the hunt. Pimp's already looking around the A site, and there is a floater. Kiebu is waiting for them to move up. Delpan's looking towards the position, and now Kiebu, he comes up. He needs to get rid of these guns. They got AWP looking one way, M4 looking the other. Delpan's already pretty low, but Kaboom will pick up Kiebu. But Nico with the pistol takes him out in the corner. Don't lose that AWP, Nico. It's worth it to bring down the CT AWP, but he doesn't want to lose his own. Scouts for a moment. He's going to lose it. In fact, they lose it pretty hard. Delpan. Okay. They'll lose the AWP, but they save one by taking out the Ts. So it's not as bad. I thought if Dignitas lose that AWP so early on after the buy.
Yeah, it might hurt. I mean, they're in a position. AZ would have been able to drop.
Yeah, they have a lot of cash, but why burn it?
Yeah, no, they did well to save into those first couple pistol rounds. They didn't invest a whole lot in round 2, even without the bomb plant, even with that bomb plant. So it gave them the opportunity to go right back to it. The only one who's really hurting right now is actually Kiebu, who's 8-1, but he had to drop out for a teammate that time. So Nico right back to the AWP, and again they go for this 3-long push. Hugin's going to fall back onto the site. Now they'll play it for short. This is a bit of a change. It might work because Pimp's there, and he's actually trying to peek it. Delpan flashes him off. He wants to be the first to that corner. And they have to play this cat because with pistols long, unless they rush the doors right away and you're there, you're not going to ever get that distance advantage with them. So this is the next best. Delpan's going to drop down and help cover off middle. But there's the shots. Pimp gets the first. Hugin down, and now they're going to go up the stairs and then continue on. They've also got players coming down from long. That's Kirby, and here comes the shots. Pimp's going to get another. No, actually, pardon me. It was Kirby from long who took the kill after Pimp got the initial damage. But AZ's in mid. Look at the amount of people pushing him. He doesn't care. All 3 down. He said he took a nap so he could pwn noobs. Well, there's 3 of them.
They ran straight through the mid doors in. And there was no pre-fire, there was no wall, there was no pressure being applied to AZ. He literally stood, stand, and delivered into AliGon. And you see him right here. There's no banging, there's nothing, because they can't. It's just these pistols, but no one could even get like a couple. Like, hit the tag. You're 68, 66 left after you bring down 3 in the doors. All you needed was 1 full clip from the AK. And this is now 5-0 in favor of Dignitas. You said this map is pretty balanced at the moment. Dignitas is not showing it. Delpan looking for the quick pick, but he's down to 3 live points on this AWP. He has to be more defensive now. Especially with the T's. Nico's on the hunt. He's actually been tagged up a little bit too, down to 17 of his life. But with this buy around from AliGon, they need this to work for them.
Kaboom's got to find the information at long because they're setting up 2 players there. It's actually going to be Kebu the first one through. If he doesn't get this kill, Delpan low, who's actually favoring back at the car to cover off the catwalk push, he'll be left alone from both angles, and with 3 HP, that's down and out, so A would be completely exploited. So this is going to be a big play. They're already checking it, and they flash him. There he is, down and out. So Dignitas with full control now of A. All they need to do is get rid of Delpan. Oh, goodness, Delpan actually gets it. Kebu goes right back through the dead body of his teammate. It actually gave him a wall bang for it.
Kebu was going to take out his teammate no matter what then. He wanted to shoot bullets through his teammate to ensure that kill, but the AWP was able to save it from the team kill.
Wow, Hugin, nice flash to come out of CT. So he's regained this control because Pimp fell back. Off that kill, they didn't rush long like I expected. They're going to head back over to B. AZ is in. Xylo's in the back of the site, and Nico's going to go ahead and take down Cobra at mid, so AZ's job becomes a lot more easy. But Xylo's forced back out of the site, just trying to play efficient, allow his teammate to get over and help him out. That bomb is being planted. That nade's going to go out through the window. Beautiful camera shot. Xylos has to continue to just sit and wait.
The problem is breaching in through this. They can't get kind of any advantage unless Huggin's able to get a first pick, and he's so far back, in fact, they're just going to go and save. Xylos might stay close enough that he can get some picks, so he can either do this from the lower dark stairs, and he's not even going to take that risk at all. He's falling all the way back up through mid, and you got the ult from Huggin, as you can see there, over on the A side. No one's going to contest both of these CTs. They're on the other side of the map. So a simple 6-round advantage coming the way of Team Dignitas. Not even breaking a sweat so far in this first half.
No, this is looking very, very, very good. I said I was worried about their T side. Typically, that's been a trend for both Dignitas, the old and the new.
It just seems good here. Like every shot's being picked up. AliGon's just had no money. So ever since the pistol round's been lost, and when they do get the weapons, they're getting picked out. Be it through rotations. This time around, there will be the advantage coming the way with Kiebu going down. So there is the advantage for the CTs. But Pimp's already looking to push up through mid, and it's a B push. A little bit of harassment or a little bit of noise being made up in the top of Dark by Isenbo. And they're coming in. Yep, they're coming in. They're breaching already. Xylos gets dropped. There is still a little bit more defense here from Cobra, but can he finish the job? No, he cannot. Isenbo stays up. And the smoke to protect the cross, so there's no AWP picking that can come out from Delpan. He goes for a bit of a guess hit. While the nade's making sure the window is clear, Nico will get the plant down this round. And onto a 3v3 situation. Pimp holds an upper dark, Nico, but look at as well as Isenbo.
This right here, this full flank rotation. He's actually, couldn't hit the shot. He had a perfect opportunity to get behind Pimp.
The flash, though, he can't finish the job. Can they even get in? I'm not sure they can get in. The smoke is keeping Nico pretty blind, but when you got 2 AKs, yeah, they're backing out of here. Again, AliGon are going to go into the save and let Delpan hold onto that AWP.
Pimp's going to chase it too, and with Kaboom still just sitting on the other side of those doors, he might be found.
Thought he saw a glimpse at the moment.
Pimp's going to wait. That bomb's going to go off. He should push through as soon as it does. Yeah, now he knows he's there. He's definitely going to take this fight. Easily dropped, so that's another gun down. Fortunately, they do get it! I was about to say Delpan was going to keep the AWP, but Nico found him. Oh, insult to injury. 7 rounds. They've still got money bonus, but not enough for an AWP. In fact, they're going to go for a full save. They could have forced from us. At this point, I wouldn't blame them at all because they need to get some rounds, but instead they'll just go for pistols. Only chest armor for Xylos.
And when you've been crushed that hard, Team Dignitas just steamrolling over AliGon. And Delpan, all he could try and do, the Deagle at the front, he's trying to pull, well, if you can pull a world edit, maybe you can bring his team back into this. At the same time, Nico, there's already a first hits. He does get one, but AZ's already moved up. The CTs aggressively force their way up, but this is going to completely open up the B site. The bomb's already on the run over here. And Team Dignitas, they focused A very early on, but ever since they got this gun advantage, and they keep winning the mid advantage too, they cut off the mid. You can't get through CT anymore for AliGon. And Team Dignitas just moved the bomb to B, get the plant down, and the rest, as they say, is victory.
Kabam's gone for this long flank again, and they're doing these unorthodox long rotations. That tells me they're scared to take the fights. Obviously, they're with pistols this round, but it's not the first time we've seen it. They're not trying to take fights. They're trying to outsmart them. They're overcomplicating the game right now and trying to get around behind Dignitas, who have been so far fully aware of that, they're going to go double op setup this time on AliGon. We'll see if it can finally pay off, as Delpan and Cobra are each going to pick one up. But, I mean, they're just not finding these one-on-ones. They're getting out-battled right now.
Where's the early pick, AliGon? At least get some advantage coming your way. Pimp's being very defensive. And the Orbs, in fact, aren't going to look at anything. You see Pimp's stats. He's going to come down mid and probably increase them even further with 12 kills in 8 rounds. Not too shabby already. Sorry, that's 9 kills. He's got 9 kills in this round. But Delpan, at least he got 1 pick off. But the breach again comes in. But Delpan with the second. Looks for the third. Claims it as well. Finally, some flare coming out here from AliGon. Pimp's trying to bring him down with the nade, and he'll be successful in doing so. So Pimp secures the bomb site, but there's big trouble back in CT spawn as Cobra breaches his way through. Eisenbro will drop, and it's all up to Pimp with 34 life points. He does have the bomb, and he'll look for the plant. Even if it's only money, he wants to win the round. But look how scared they are. They're just tossing nades over the top. They can't stop him. He goes for the fake. He's trying to get them to breach in so he can get the early frag. But AliGon are not taking the bait here at all. Beautiful. We have the right person.
Man, he's going to have to play this. There's the first. He's still looking. Gets the second. Oh, my goodness. That under window position. How did they not react based on the first kill? But Kaboom gets it. They will get the defuse. Finally getting around on the board. That double op pays off. But look how much life they lost. Look how many players drop. And despite the win, they're barely going to be able to buy out to just basic M4s after that.
It just seems so hard to look down as you
pick up the AWP that was dropped inside T. So luckily they do recover 1.
They didn't have to lose 2, though. They didn't have to lose 2. The jump through the window, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to look all the way down as you come in. He was probably expecting to back up towards the boxes, too. And that did not happen. So AliGon, got to make this momentum count. Try and actually choke up Team Dignitas' bank, which has not been possible so far. But they're holding mid nicely. There's no way through with both the AWP as well as the FAMAS there. Pimp's trying to get for the trying to find this early pick with the extra smokes too. They're making a hell of a lot of noise here, but no one's peeking. No one's even just looking up short A, which is where Nico is trying to cover and get that early frag. In fact, both the A sides, they're still sitting down long. They're boosted up on the long A.
Yeah, they're trying to see over top of this smoke at long doors, but what they don't realize is they've completely left their A open. I mean, how has Xylos not been aware of this? And again, there's that smoke that goes out on CT spawn.
It's like they're relying on Delpan to find short A. Because if they can have Delpan holding short A with the vision, then they're okay. But the smoke just keeps obscuring them.
Oh, Hugin's finally gone back that direction. Pimp dropped off
that's so
and
quick
into
from
CT. They're actually going to go for a long CT push. Nico up close. There it is. But man, oh man. They could have just easily gone A. Again, Kaboom from behind, though. He is going to catch Nico this time. So this is getting turned around. Although AZ's not done. He's going to put it back to a 2-on-2. Bomb's still down, though, and they can't grab it.
It's stranded in mid, so they have to go for the picks. But Hugin as well as Kaboom wrap it up. And this time, the flank from Kaboom worked. He got there at the perfect time on the mid.
That was a little bit too complex from Dignitas was the problem. They had Pimp go up onto Catwalk, scout it out, but before he even realized that A was open, he'd already dropped and gone into CT to try and flank middle as they came through on that smoke. And it actually paid off because AliGon had 3 over there. Like we mentioned, if they'd just gone A, if he had just made that call, it was wide open.
Quick movement. Really quick movement up by Dignitas. We've already got Pimp as well as Eisenbo. They've moved up through short A. Delpan's looking for the floater to come up a little bit later and does claim him, so Nico can't join the rest of his teammates, but through long A. Already 1 pick. Cobra going down top of the site. There's only 1 player left for CT in close, but there's more coming up. They've already lost Huggin. He was that close man, but as Delpan again finding these pickoffs. But he has to be defensive. Only 2 life points left on this AWP. He doesn't really have a pick. And Team Dignitas are nicely spread out. 1 on long, 2 on site. There isn't really an opening here for AliGon unless they get just 1 pick. And it looks like Delpan's just looking for it. While the exit frag brings down Pimp and then a cover smoke. They retreat out. They've lost another round.
Yeah, I mean, they got no HP to go for it, so they'll have to hold on. The question is, do they go hunting on Dignitas' side? They won't. They're too far away at this point, so they'll sit and watch, make sure no one's sneaky. Tries to come in and grab that bomb, and then it'll be 9-2. So Dignitas come back after dropping 2 rounds. They still have a ton of money, too, so they could have bought regardless. They'll only just do damage, and look at AliGon. They've got nothing. 1,800, 1,400, 1,400, 19, and 14. It's just disastrous.
At least they got 2. It looked like it was going to be worse. It looked like it was going to be 15-0 at one point because nothing looked like it was going to stop Dignitas. Now the pick from Nico. Well, that's not great for the start for AliGon. As Nico was actually looking for a secondary pick there, but couldn't claim it. The flashes, they're coming into B. Zylos is the closest one in window. He will be forced back, and now they're actually completely out the sight. The mollies as well as the nades flying their way. There was still the pick coming out from Delpan.
I'm so confused.
Breach.
Pimp's got the bomb. He's alone in the site. Oh, finally, Dignitas come back in. I mean, they called. Nico made that shot at mid. He called it 4 across. He had to have. He had to have seen them all. And yet they walked into this stack. At least they get the bomb down. That was a heads-up play by Pimp. That was a manly play by Pimp because he was in and had 4 players around him. His team had actually backed out tunnels. I think they were planning on going back to A as Kierbu was going to get Kaboom and force AliGon once again to go back and save. But it looked like they actually decided, hey, wait, there's 4 guys here. Let's go back to A. And then they realized, wait a minute, Pimp, you're in there alone and you've got the bomb. So they ran back in, and luckily he stuck to it and got the bomb down for them because that could have been a disaster. Zylos will at least get Kierbu toward the end of the round. And they'll hold on to these 2 guns, or will they? Pimp's still lurking.
They want to try and spam him, and it looks like Pimp will be able to finish him off after the bomb explodes. At Dignitas. It did look like a little bit of a comic as they ran in. But they still managed to get the breach. They pushed in, and AliGon, you can see how scared they are of Team Dignitas. The second the breach came in, like, we didn't see Zylos decide to just stay in the window or jump down the box and contest from inside the site. Instead, he backed out and got himself not mollied, naded, everything. They couldn't secure the site, even though they had an AWP as well as the M4 up close. Delpan, he got the tag, but he doesn't get the kill over on Nico. And A, well, actually they've lost their mid again. Quick push up by Cobra. AZ's right in front of him, and we'll be able to win that battle. So again, Zylos the only one that's capable of defending over on this B side, but it's A where Team Dignitas are thinking about going to. They do have Pimp up through short, but they're pulling the bomb. Plus they're 3 players over towards the B side, so if they can get through Zylos, they've got a chance here. But he's holding on the sight box. But they're really delaying their push. More smokes, they cover mid. Here comes your flash. Breach, Delpan. He scouts out 1. And he's able to pick up 1. So there goes Pimp on the A site. But it's all distractions. Zylos still at the back here. Flash has come. He's not looking at any of it. We'll pick up 1 over at the car, but he won't get the second. It was just a good crossfire as they came in. But it's still a 3-on-2 situation. And the T's had the plant down. And does Delpan try this time? He saved the last, what, 3 rounds with that AWP? And it looks like they're going to do exactly the same thing again. Another plant comes down, but they protect the M4 and AWP.
Yeah, I mean, they've got no money at all. They reset their money bonus. They're only up to 2 rounds going back against them. There's only 2 rounds left in the half. This is not looking good. I mean, their positioning is questionable. Delpan, yeah, he's been getting the kills. He's up to 15. He actually is tied with Cherby, which, by the way, I'm told is the more correct pronunciation.
I'm also seeing getting a tweet of Cherby.
I'll learn Scandinavian at some point in my life.
We did check this before, though.
Well, we looked at previous casts, but that didn't mean they were right either. So I'm going to go with Cherby. We'll go with it. They can call us out.
Okay, all hatred can go towards D-Man because he was the one we copied.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the one we checked.
We would have thought we could trust you, D-Man.
We do our homework. Obviously, he didn't.
So Cherby actually has 15, but so does Delpan. He's been really hybrid. He's been really adaptive. He's going to go to long here again, but he's been all over the map. The problem is they're leaving holes. When he changes his position, they're not making up for it. And AZ, they line up. Easy shots for him. He's already spotted the person pushing into B, and there it is. Cobra's down. So 3 already completely extinguished.
It's painful to see as AliGon. They're at least trying to breach the line by moving up in force, but when you line up like that to the AK, you're just going to lose all of your players. Tie places now. I don't want to say his name. Cherby.
There you go.
Cherby.
I think it's just Cherby.
He'll get the kill. Beautiful. That's that line. AZ, 1, 2, and then 3. That's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. I mean, again, my point is, though, that Delpan's been... Oh, lags him. Easy lag on Cobra, so he's down to very minimal HP. He's called it there's 3 costs. They're still going to push through on this.
Fast.
That flashes go out. They're
really
going to force one into the closet. Pimp's already got 1. Hugin's at least there to get another, but Zylos hasn't been spotted yet in closet. I thought they would have known based on that flash. Luckily, they do turn their attention, and again, it's AZ with a double kill. He's up to 16 now. There's 3 of which that are on 16, so good frag distribution from Dignitas, but Delpan's trying to come in through the window. Kaboom's going to rejoin from mid.
No saving this time.
The bomb's not yet down, though, and that nade might just catch AZ a little bit too far. Only 5 HP lost from it, and he's still going to hold them out. As Eisenbo will go for that plan. AZ's up to 3. AZ's going to look for 4, turns his attentions toward the door, and that's where Kaboom is. It's the last round of the half. No reason to save. He'll man up and try and go in. He's worried about where AZ is, but he's going to have to be careful because Eisenbo's lurking to his right as well. And I'm not sure he's going to get anything from this. He's taking his sweet time, and there's not sweet time to be had. It's all bitter at this point. There's the 4K for AZ. He takes over the lead in the server.
13-2 at the end of the first half. This was this was just solid from AZ. Holds on the platform, takes out car, takes out window, and that was the end when the site was basically secured. So Team Dignitas looking very, very solid, not looking like they just woke up, and if you're calling this a warm-up map, then AliGon might be hoping for that and hoping they'll have a better map number 2.
I didn't say it was a warm-up map in terms of the fact that, oh, they're not on their game yet. I just meant that with Dignitas' previous history of not necessarily being a T-sided team.
Wow, well, this is fast.
Dust2 is probably the most ideal map they could play because you can get away with pugging it. You can get away with, getting those rounds strictly based on skill, less so than execution.
One bullet. Catching out in upper dark. This is where AliGon was going to push. They've got 3 players, but now AZ. Well, he's going to be brought down finally by Kaboom. But you've lost your players, you've shown where you are, and now it's a 3-on-4 situation when you tease with pistols. And even with the push coming up through the side. So Cherubi, the T's are backing up. They're trying to be as quiet as they can, so Team Dignitas still feel the push is going to be coming towards B. But they flank through a very, very long back through T-spawn. And welcome. Oh, that'll be the death there of Eisenbo.
So back to 3-on-3, and look at the T's completely reevaluating their positioning. They're going to spot Pimp getting aggressive at B, but that also means he's got the information. And from that distance, they can't do the damage. Nico's not rotating it. There he is. Finally, he'll take off.
They're probably thinking it's a double flank. He only saw 1 player, so he doesn't a double fake. He's not realizing the bomb is on the B side. Now let's see Hugget at mid, which means it really should be a B. You're trying to control the mid. The breach is coming in. You still got the defense to come in from Pimp. He's at the back box as Xylos just runs up. A time for a reload, but Pimp gets shut down from Xylos. Look up towards the window. The plant will drop. This is the start that AliGon require. Some level of momentum. 3 Ts versus 2 CTs, and now it's only 1. Stuck up at window, getting breached from all sides. And that is it. Cherubi goes down at the end. And first round, pistol round, goes the way of AliGon. They have to hold the momentum, though.
Yeah, that's very important for them. But 13, I mean, there's not much left in this as soon as guns come out. It's going to be pretty close and contested. I'm curious to see how they choose to play this. They're actually already pre-dropping into suicide. Xylos getting very aggressive, but look at this double scout just firing away. Rapid fire, hoping for that lucky shot. Delpan's got one to try and respond, but he's not even going to peek with it with that going against him. So
the funny thing is,
he's going to fire away with his 5.7.
It stopped AliGon from pushing up anyway. Like they've got long A, but they're still going to be very slow with this, considering you are still going up against the double scouts.
The other part of this is they've invested into 2 AKs. Regardless if they win the round, they want to be careful not to drop guns. So that's why you often see, yeah, sure, you've got firepower, but they'll play it very passively and try and get as much information as they can because you don't want to walk into a stack. They've got themselves up A this time, and it's AZ down. Huggins got up on the site, and he also very smartly jumps over the box, checks out elevator. A third for him as Kirby goes down, coming around from Cat. Great awareness, great shots. And they got something going for them in this round again. Pimp's still looking with that scout, though, to try and find anyone through that gap in the smoke, but no one's going to cross over. The only other player is Nico just sitting on Cat. I imagine he's going to look for exits, although he might just show his face here. It would be risky.
Kaboom. AK, not enough. Pimp just getting the hell out of there. Hold on to the scout. Save something for him. The bomb's about to explode anyway. Kaboom's still looking up towards window. I think it's time for Xylos to also run away from that side. Yep, this is down. They just run out to the pit. Nico holding in short. He might be able to catch out Kaboom here. Just looking through those mid doors, and in fact, he will do so. So Kaboom will drop, and this does give at least the AK over towards Nico. So Dignitas have some level of weapons coming into this next round.
Well, not so much. I mean, they'll hold on to this scout.
You've got a scout and an AK. Like, a scout and an AK is nothing to be snuffed at. Especially when AliGon did still drop it.
Did they get the AK, though?
Yeah, they got the AK. Because it was the pick off at mid doors. He definitely picked up the AK.
Well, nonetheless, Cobra's going to go back into Caribbean. Kaboom there. I mean, they're just mopping them now. And this is pretty much going to be expected. Delpan takes down AZ. And Dignitas just rushed mid, hoping they could divide them and funnel them one way or the other. Little did they know they were all there waiting. Nico, look at this big flank, though. He's already out towards T-spawn, and Pimp still firing away at mid. Gets one leg shot through the door. And Nico, there it is on that flank. Does manage to collect it. It's Delpan to drop. He also gets hugging, but Cobra's going to put him down, silence him in the end. And unfortunately, he didn't have time to go over and recover one of those AKs that was dropped, so he'll still have that Galil. But now we're going to see guns come out on the opposing side.
All right. Bring in the weapons. Bring in the rounds. Buy a round. And Team Dignitas, this is their time to try and turn that momentum back and just wrap up Dust2. Either that or they just lose so much momentum up against AliGon. The push is going to come in actually pretty well split. Like Kaboom as well as Xylos, they're making a lot of noise in Upper Dark, but AZ sitting in a very aggressive position, looking directly up the tunnel. And there's your first pick. Nico taking out Delpan in mid. He really has been a superstar tonight for AliGon. Even the shot through the doors was close. But Delpan, he had a great time on CTs this time. Just getting shut down a little bit more. And Nico's rotating himself over towards long. I don't know if this is meant to be for the push, if they're expecting an A push, but they're coming in through the mid. AliGon's got 4 players here. And Nico, by sitting up on top of that ramp, he is able to see through the CT spawn, but obviously with the smoke to cover, it may be a little bit more difficult. Gonzalez coming up through short A. It's like AliGon are poking in 3 different locations, but not finding any openings yet.
It's a fairly good setup right now, fairly standard from Dignitas. Pimp's there to cover mid if he has to. They've got that smoke on CT, but Caribbean's going to jump on the boxes like happy and try and hold that off. AZ finds the first. Kaboom's down, and now they're just limiting out the defense, and AZ's going to get another, and just as quickly, there's Caribbean at mid, hugging down, and AZ holding on beautifully to that B site, picks up another. So another 3K for him. He continues to lead the way, and they'll go this double op setup. 24 kills already, 13 headshots out of those 2, so great stuff from him.
It's the 3 blind mice that just ran through Upper Dark. You're running through the smoke, and the M4 just sat there and aimed for the chest, hit the head, and Team Dignitas now 2 rounds away from victory here on Dust2 and map number 1. But AliGon, they do still have money with the 3 AKs, 1 Galil, 1 AWP. Delpan opens up. Nico to drop pretty quickly. At the time, Cherubi is able to get the trade-off, so it's still a 1-for-1. And Pimp's moving himself over towards long. He's feeling there's still a push coming out that way, but they're coming down mid, going up towards short. So Kaboom watches the mid doors. At this point, he is the man with the bomb. The commitment from players coming from AliGon towards... Okay, that's the reason why you had that AWP rotation. Brings down Huggin, so the long A is gone now.
The issue is they've already found this pick, and Pimp pushed forward. He didn't fall back, so he's given them cat. He will catch them at the elbow and play the reverse angle, but he could have had a better positioning on it, and Delpan knew he was there. He knew he had to be, so he didn't get the early step on them, and they take full advantage of it. Now they've got a sight. Eisenbo's going to have to play this backwards. Easy's in mid. Delpan's going to contest him, as Kaboom's going to hold off on the site and just look below. And Delpan wants to drop, actually. He could do this quite effectively. He's already down. There it is. Nice shot. Cherby down.
Eisenberg needs to make an opening. Or at least some distraction. AZ takes 1, looks for the second, claims him 2. Looking down towards the ramp, he knows where he is. He's coming up from behind him. But Delpan, well, no, he doesn't actually. He stays up high. He's going for the defuse. Spamming through it, but the T is able to kill him off before the defuse is done.
That was a risky defuse for AZ. I think he thought he was a little bit further away around the corner based on the call, because he was pushed up by the pipe. But the problem was, I mean, he knew exactly where he is. He had lots of time. He could have just peeked over the edge down by elevator and gotten the kill just as easy.
I'm surprised he didn't. I thought he saw him through the edge of the smoke.
Yeah, I think that was just a timing call. He thought he had it. Didn't have the time. Oh, 2-3 cross. Actually, they're going to go for this stack by the mid doors where they are on pistols. So they've got the information to call it, and they're going to rush Cat for AliGon. But they can see above this smoke, and look at the damage coming out. 2 of them dinked up. Cobra and Kaboom down to 16 and 17. And finally, they do respond into Nico. But look at this. They're already up around Catwalk, and AZ drops down.
He couldn't find the angle to finish him off. There are still 3 up for the CTs, but right now, all they can look for is exit frags. Either that or you're going to push up through long A. That's where Eisenbo has moved up at the moment. But there's so many smokes to push in, you can't get in through short. There's no angle to get in through short. It's going to be purely exit frags.
There's one.
Oh, if we can keep getting these picks, you might have a little bit more time, but the rest of the CTs are too far away to really make the most out of this. And Eisenberg, he's actually running up. He's running up for the bomb. He's right next to it. He's not going to get there. The AWP will pick up one. With the 2 CTs left in mid on the other side of doors, Delpan looking for the pickups. And both the CTs will end up dying, rushing through the mid doors.
So they'll go back to guns on CTs. They've yet to string a whole lot together. Only one round in this half. That was your first gun round, but it was immediately countered. Money's tight on both sides, the exception of Delpan. By the way, he's retaken the lead from AZ. He's now on 25. AZ's gone a little bit quiet since we posted those stats. A little bit of a jinx for us, perhaps. But Dignitas needs to get this now because AliGon still has a chance to get some momentum and some economy rolling in their direction. Saw how quickly it can happen. There it is. Good push. Good aggressive op into lower tunnels without the boost that time, too, so they can still designate 2 players to long, as we see here. And the crossfire is set up. That smoke's going to hold them off and allow AliGon to force themselves over into the position behind the dumpster. But look at Cherby. He already knows they're there. He's going to pop out. There's one. There's two. Good awareness. Easy kills, and that's A shut down. And with all 5 players still up, Xylos and Delpan are in a very desperate position. They do still have this bomb to work with. They know there's 3 at A. They might try and work this through middle, but they've got no... Oh, I take it back. Xylos has 1 smoke. They will finally use that on CT.
They have to basically take out windows straight away. But actually, Pimp's moved down towards the doors now. Xylos, it's all up to him to get these early picks.
And AZ's going for a really aggressive flank. Kerby's already there, and AZ's going to come right out behind them where they just were, and they will not expect that.
No.
Kerby's going to get the one to get the kill. But that was a good play by AZ as well, and now we're on match point.
I have been told by reliable sources, a.k.a. the Deans, that it's Kirby.
It is Kirby.
It's just Kirby.
Like a Care Bear.
So it's yes. Yes. Kirby.
All right.
Kirby is his name. And if this isn't right, we've gone through 3 different versions of it. And when we lit up the garden path.
Eventually we're going to make up names.
Your name is Bruce. You're from the philosophical department of Wallabaloo.
So AZ down already.
Look at Kirby. He's so aggressive up on that long A.
Caught by Delpan on that cross. He's going to jump out from Pimp. Not a lot of damage dealt. Just a little bit to Xylos.
With low money here for AliGon, they've got a couple of AKs. They're split around their weapons, but there's not a lot of smokes left, not a lot of nades left. Breaching onto Team Dignitas. You are 1 up with AZ being down, but Pimp, he's just waiting around the mid. The AWP to fire to start with, but Delpan walks through blind on his right. So everything gets leveled up, and the AWP is gone for AliGon. And they are still 1 round away from losing this map. A little bit more of a peek coming up towards short A. Cobra, hoping for some kind of opening. She leaves his weapon behind him. I don't know if that was actually fully intentional. He actually left it for Huggin. And now, well...
They might get there just in time because Isenbo's got 1, but Cobra responds. They're still stuck on elbow, though. That bomb hasn't crossed over, and Pimp's got the first kill. He's got to be so careful, though, as the bomb now is going to go down. And he was getting shot at from that ramp position. Didn't lose a lot of HP, though. Still workable. He realizes they're both there with that jump peak, too. So now they'll commit to this easy shot for Pimp on Xylos. Cobra's going to get a nice one up close, and now we're down to the one-on-one. It's op versus op. We're going to see a magical shot regardless.
Nope.
Or we're going to see Nick go just bail out and go for the pistol. Whatever. Either way, that's going to be GG. 16-7. I was hoping for something more beautiful to close it off, but that's where we end up.
Well, I think at least you can be happy that it wasn't a complete wipe, because that's what it was looking to be at the very, very start. It was just so solid coming out from Team Dignitas. It didn't look like they were going to lose any rounds. And then you slowly work your way back here, AliGon. They find the openings. They hold some of the momentum. They do have a couple of still holes there, which made it difficult for Dignitas.
And 2 things. It was Delpan that was the guy that got them those openings. He doubled anyone else on his team. 26 kills for him.
He's the MVP of their team.
Yeah, I think he's the MVP overall. Looking at the statistics, AZ ended up with the 24 that he had. He went a little bit quiet after we called him on that. And it actually ended up being Delpan who led the way. The problem was also that Delpan on CT, even though he was also getting the kills on CT, I mentioned it, he would play it from A. Next round, he would head toward B. Next round, head toward mid. He was changing it up. I like that. As I pulled on my cable and adjusted my mic away from my mouth. I like that, but no one was recovering those positions. They were leaving holes from wherever he was the previous round, and it just was completely leaving them exploited. So they just never got it going defensively. That team looks like they're struggling to find coordination and chemistry. They've got a little bit to work on. Is the skill there? Delpan for sure. The rest of them definitely didn't give me a lot to go by, but we'll see in this next match if they can, next map, excuse me, if they can do.
Yeah, and of course we will be going to cash. We'll have ourselves a short break before we go into the map. So get yourself a beverage. Also, take the time to subscribe to the channel. You can win yourself that wonderful AWP skin, which we're giving away tonight. And of course, you support the tournament through the new Twitch revenue share. You're able to help increase the prize pool, community funding for CSGO. Show how much you love the tournaments. Do it. We'll be back. Push up through mid, but with the AK here, it's an easy hold on the top, takes out one, and there is your second one going the way of Kiebo.
Get another? No, actually, pardon me, it was Kirby from Long who took the kill after Pimp got the initial damage, but AZ's in mid. Look at the amount of people pushing him. He doesn't care. All three down.
He got one pick off, but the breach again comes in, but Delpan with the second, looks for the third, claims it as well. Finally, some flare coming out here from AliGon. Pimp's trying to bring him down with the nade, and he'll be successful in doing so. Beautiful. We have the right person.
Man, he's going to have to play this. There's the first. He's still looking. Gets the second. Oh, my goodness. That under window position. How did they not react based on the first kill? But Kaboom gets it. They will get the defuse. Finally getting around on the board. That double up pays off. But look how much life they lost. Look how many players dropped. When he changes his position, they're not making up for it. And AZ, they line up. Easy shots for him. He's already spotted the person pushing into B. And there it is. Cobra's down. So 3 already completely extinguished as they can because you don't want to walk into a stack. They've got themselves up A this time, and it's AZ down. Huggins got up on the site, and he also very smartly jumps over the box, checks out Elevator. A third for him as Kirby goes down, coming around from Cat. Great awareness, great shots. He's going to jump on the boxes like happy and try and hold that off. AZ finds the first. Kaboom's down, and now they're just limiting out the defense, and AZ's going to get another, and just as quickly, there's Kirby at mid. Hugging down, and AZ holding on beautifully to that B site, picks up another. So another 3K.